Hey everyone, welcome to Inkwell Games and happy Monday. Today I'm going to walk you through how I solve the stars puzzle as an example of how I use logic because as mentioned in the tutorial and the instructions, there's no guessing required in these games. So first off, I tend to look for small regions in a puzzle. In particular, if there's a 3x3 region like I see here and here, that is always where I start. So what I'm going to do is look at this region, and if it's a 3x3 region and I need to get 2 stars into this region, I know there's only one possible configuration. Because if I were to place a star in this cell, there wouldn't be another, if I was to place a star here, there isn't room to place a second star in this region that doesn't touch that star. Therefore, I know that this cell cannot be a star, nor can this one, which means that in each of these regions, I only have 2 options left. I'm going to place a star here. To start here, that region is now full. Whenever I place a star, I cross out every other cell that touches that star, and then same with this one, because none of those cells can contain stars either. Then I'm going to actually move down the column, because that column is now full as well. Let's cross out all these options. We can't have a star in any of them. We also had this 3x3 region, so let's quickly put in our two stars in this region as well. Cross out everything that touches these stars. And again, I can X out everything else in this column because this column already has 2 stars. Interestingly, those are both in the same rows as well. So this row is now completely full. No more stars, as is this row. And by doing these Xing out, what I'm doing is I'm essentially minimizing the options for star placements and making what looked like big regions much smaller regions. So we'll look at this region next. This was a 2x4 region. There were lots of possibilities for stars, but given that we can't have a star anywhere here because it would touch those, can't have a star here or here because those rows are full, there's only 2 options left in this region now. I'll do the same thing. X out every cell that touches one of those stars that I just placed. Wow, that was 2 in this column. This column is now full. Drop my X's down that column. Now let's move on to this region. Same thing happened. Now there's only 2 possibilities in this region. Let's put some stars in, cross out everything that they touch. And again, those were 2 in that column. Boom, boom, boom. And just like this pair, those 2 are the 2 in that row as well. So we can cross out these, and this one, and this one. Now again, there's probably different paths I could pursue here, but again, I'm looking for regions that have been made smaller by the X's I've added, or regions, or rows or columns where there's only a few options. So in particular, the next space I look at is the next region over. Again, we only have 3 options. When we have a sort of row of 3 stars together, a row of bleh. And we know that if we place a star in the center of that 3, we wouldn't have a spot for a second star. Therefore, we know this is an X. We put a star here and a star here. We'll cross out everything that those stars touch, even the diagonals. We'll notice that they're the 2 in that column. Let's drop that column down. And suddenly the board becomes very full and your options really become limited. So it's about looking around. Now I have this long region, only has 2 options left. Put some stars in. These touch them. These are 2 in the same row. Cool. Let's see where else we can go now. This region right below it. Whoops. This region right below it, again, funny region, only has 2 options left. And actually, now that I look, those are the only 2 options in each of those columns too. The cells that touch it are already covered and already X'd out, but they are the only 2 in that row. So we'll bring this across. Now this region became quite constrained. The only options here are here and here, which fills out this row. This region, only 2 options again. Put some stars in. These cells touch those stars, and this row is now complete. Let's see. This region still is funky and has a lot of options. This row has multiple options. It could be here or here to finish out this row. Here or here to finish out this row. But when I look at this big funky region, I actually realize, oh, This and this are the only options for stars in that region. Cross this out. This one touches. We've realized that this row is actually full as well, so we can X that out. So this region now still has 3 options. We need 1 star here and 1 star in either of these. Let's see. Another way to solve this would be looking at this column, and this is the only place for a 2nd star in that column. So I'll put that in. Everything around it is X'd out already. That's the 2nd star in that row, which means this is the only cell left in both that region, that row, and that column. So this should finish our game. Excellent. So if you liked this game and you want to share your results, how fast you completed it, you can do that here. Otherwise, if you want a daily reminder every day when a new stars is available, put your email address here. We hope to see you tomorrow. Have fun solving.